What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Miami Dolphins Roundtable, joined by the usual suspects. Our man Dudley Do Wrong and
What's
CB83.
popping? What's popping? What's going on, guys?
I'm good, man. How you feeling, Doug?
I'm good. I'm good. Just got done shoveling. Got like 7
Shoveling.
inches. Yeah,
Doug
I got
doing
7 inches of wet, heavy snow. So I'm
dang,
You
feeling
back
it.
Doug.
there digging a grave, Doug?
What happened?
You digging a grave, man? Don't put two in a hole yet, man.
Jeez Louise. Doug out there shoveling snow. My goodness. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Is
It's
it really
cool down
bad?
here in Florida, but it ain't that cold, man.
Yeah, it's 30 something up in Jersey.
That's ugly.
Is that every year, Doug? Like y'all shoveling?
Not every year. Last year we barely got any snow. So, but this year,
Man,
yeah.
you need to go move down to Miami, man.
Come on
People keep
down.
telling me that.
Yeah, man, get on down here, man. We'll get you the tour discount, man.
I might one day. I might one day.
Nah, that'll be dope, man. CB, what's going on, man? You good?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. Hey, I haven't been live in a while, so it's good to be back, man. What's up? What's going on with y'all?
Hey, man, a lot of stuff going on with the Dolphins, man. Which direction we gonna head in, we don't even know, but we did get a new DC, so that's big news. How you feel about that?
I like Weaver. He was one of my top guys I wanted to get. So the fact that we brought him in, I like his style. I like the guys that he's learned under Rex Ryan, Wink Martindale, McDonald. We don't know what he's going to run too, because Wink Martindale and Rex Ryan blitz. McDonald was more of a just a coverage type guy. He'll disguise it. So snap the ball, all of a sudden you don't know if you're getting a blitz from the second, third level and the first level drops back. A lot of disguises. So we could get a combination of all of it, but I like it because there was a lot of times where we should have blitzed last year and we didn't. Our outside corners, great pressure corners. We only pressed like 4% of the time, lowest in the NFL, whereas the Ravens were doing it like 20 something percent of the time, one of the top. So I'm very interested to see what Anthony Weaver can do, and I like the guys he's bringing in. Like, I know that Joe Barry, everyone knows about him with the Packers, and oh god, Packers, he was actually a really good linebacker coach. So I'm liking what he's putting together. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Are we 4-3? Are we 3-4?
And
What
that's
are
and
we?
that and that's the crazy thing about this hire is that we expected it to be certain guys. We thought it would be Staley or somebody that, a name that McDaniel's already was, tied to for some instance. But I like the hire because it was a little bit outside of the ordinary for the Miami Dolphins, and that's why I like it. A guy who's kind of cut his teeth in an organization who's been winning, right? The Baltimore Ravens have been playing really good defense. He played with that organization. He coached with that organization. He's coached in different organizations under different staffs. So I like that he's well versed. And I think it's a good hire. We'll see how it shakes out. I think another good thing about this is that a lot of people don't know what he's going to run yet, right? A lot of people don't have a lot of film on what he's going to run, especially with this type of personnel, because he's never had this caliber of a defense. And then also, we're in a situation where we have a lot of free agents, and some of those guys are going to get signed back. Some won't. So he's going to have the opportunity to bring in some of his guys that kind of fit in his system. So I think it's a good hire. I think it's a great hire.
Will he survive Tua, though? Tua getting everybody fired and stuff. So,
oh my gosh, man.
man.
You got to stop, TD. You got to stop, dog.
No,
I like
ahead,
that he is doing. He's allowed to bring in his own coaching staff, which I like. Whereas Fangio kind of had the guys pushed on him, so I like that openness, and I like that he has the connection with McDaniel, and it's not, they're so torn because Fangio seemed like more of like there's a big name, regardless of the money, regardless of the relationship, we need to bring him in, and he did a great job. Like, I'm not knocking Fangio at all with the stuff he did with what he had at the end of the year, fantastic. But this seems more like we got Anthony Weaver. He's going to be here for a few years versus Fangio when he signed him. He had a foot out the door when we signed him.
It just seems like some of these guys are like they're focused on running the system the way they run the system, and they're not collaborative. And it seemed like you know, Fangio just wasn't that guy that was going to collaborate with McDaniel and just kind of be an open ear and make adjustments, right? Weaver comes in, he has a relationship with McDaniel. It'll be more collaborative. It'll be more of an opportunity for them to make adjustments. Man, I know the players want that. The players want the opportunity to be able to go to their DC and say, hey, this is what we want to run. That's not always the best thing for the team, but it does help. Like I always said, like people learn from people they like, or like sometimes that's the case. And maybe Weaver builds a relationship with these guys in this unit that kind of takes them to the next level. Hopefully that's the case.
So I reached out to Ingraven, who y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
I asked about him, and he was, very transparent. He said he's a great coach.
Mhm.
The only thing is, y'all auditioning him.
Mm.
You don't know what you're
That's
gonna get. You don't know what you're gonna get as a coordinator.
right.
In his position groups, excellent, but you just don't know. So you're either gonna get a great guy or you're gonna get a guy you're disappointed and he belongs being a position coach. So you don't know because you don't know how guys are gonna turn out in that role. So it's just, but he says one of the guys that you can be optimistic about, right?
Yeah.
My big concern overall isn't him.
Mhm.
It's the defensive personnel and scheme that he would like to probably implement because
Mhm.
let's be honest, man. Even though we knock Fangio for his lack of connecting with players,
Mhm.
I'll put it that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's viable in today's NFL. I guess it's fair, right? But Fangio exceeded expectations for the performance of the defense this year, in my opinion, outside of when he lost his players due to injuries.
Mhm.
But just having them at the fourth ranked defense with 4 weeks left, I was very critical when we brought him in. I said a lot of teams done figured that system out.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all might be heavily disappointed. I did not see that come into fruition. So I say all that to say this. I had an expectation for Fangio to have this defense up and running very nicely in 2024 because it takes time for turnover for the pieces you
Mm-hmm.
want and everything. Now, Weaver isn't the veteran who's been there and done that.
Right.
So it'll be fair to give him that opportunity to develop his defense. And I'm back to not having high expectations until next season. But the issue that comes with that is, do we have time? Do
Mhm.
we have time to blow this year? I mean, especially if we get a new scheme and half of the guys fit it and the other half just have to build until we can trade out over the years. But it's a disaster to a degree to me unless we're lucky.
Mhm.
Things work out in our favor, which is a big ask. Am I wrong for feeling like that?
Um, the one little caveat to Anthony Weaver that did make me feel comfortable was that he's been a DC before. So as it was 1 year and it was with the Texans and it was with a
Mm-hmm.
horrible defensive playing staff. Like he had JJ Watt and that was it. But
Yeah.
he has the experience to like build off of, don't do this again. And what I'm seeing what the Ravens did, especially with the players that kind of equate to what we have, like with Hamilton and with us with Holland. And, you know, we went from being very blitz heavy, which was Jerome Baker's bread and butter, Brandon Jones, Javon Holland. Like we were very built on that to something that we weren't. And it seems like we might be going somewhat back to that. It might bode well for a Jerome Baker. You know, he could take, restructuring and bring him back because he fits well in that style of defense. Or they could say, no, Weaver could be like, I need different players, yada, yada. But the biggest thing is, and I agree 100% with you, TD, and I even said when we brought in Fangio, don't expect it. Like week one, don't expect all of a sudden, oh, this is the
Yeah.
Fangio defense we're expecting, which people did. And people wanted to fire him after week 3. But then come week 9, everyone loved him. It's going to take a minute. And like you said, he's not as experienced and he's not as much of a veteran as Fangio. So it's going to take more than 4 weeks. Like you said, it might
Yeah.
take the
Yeah.
season. And are they in that position where we
Mm-hmm.
can be in a season where now all of a sudden we need to rely on an offense where our offense gets rolling for 3 months, and then all of a sudden at the end of the year, our offense falls apart, and it's scary. It's
So two things you said, Doug. That, and I'll go to your CB after this. That I gotta address. So number one, the way that we used to blitz, right?
Mm.
The difference that concerns me in this, before the blitz was an all out, it was that zero with Flores, and everybody got off because there was always a free rusher, and those guys got there. They were athletic. Weaver is more of the way he ran his defense is, delayed blitz, corner blitz, but it's not the all out, it's the extra guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how we'll look doing that. And the other thing you said, Jerome Baker, you mentioned his name and his strong suit. You think we're gonna keep that $15 million?
Like I said, if he doesn't restructure, he's gone. Like that's where it will come down to. Look, you love Miami. Your mom loves Miami. If you want to stay, we need the cap. And if he doesn't want to, then it's an easy goodbye.
Yeah,
it's a lot of savings.
Hold on, y'all. Omar Kelly calling me. What up, Omar?
Man, you froze. Oh,
yeah. I got your message. I'm gonna take it easy on you on the show, bro.
Gosh, no.
Hey, talking all that stuff, man. Hey, I gotta give. No, I'm gonna take it easy, bro. Don't forget. I'm doing a live right now with Doug and CB. I'm gonna hit you later, bro.
Oh man,
I promise I'll take it easy, man. I ain't gonna do it. All right, bro. Yeah. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Yo, you are a fool, bro. So you talking to Omar? You told him you weren't gonna embarrass him, huh?
I thought I muted. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. No, but let's move along, though. Let's move along. Let's get into some of the other nitty gritty, what everybody want to talk about anyway. Tua Tagovailoa report setting the market, dog. Setting the market, CB. Setting the market.
I mean, and man, setting the market $55 million a year, I think that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Now, does Tua wanna do that? I don't know, right? I mean, that's a good question. And that's something that that's the Miami Dolphins, that they gotta figure that out. But when you look at the market and you look at what the guys got last year, I mean, I think every quarterback who gets their deal is almost set in the market. It's kind of like the nature of the game almost. I mean, he could take a little bit less, right? Maybe $5 million less than set in the market, maybe 6 to 7. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But it does put the Miami Dolphins in a very tough spot. And I say it puts us in a tough spot because we need that cap space to kind of sign some players and get some deals done, right? Without giving Tua that extension, it puts you in a bad spot financially. It does, right? And then there's a lot of people who don't want to commit to Tua, like the TDs out there, right? Who are just a little reluctant, right? Reluctant to commit to guys like Tua.
It ain't just the TDs.
It's more than the TDs. Okay, all right, Doug. It's more than the.
Well, let me defend TD Finn's talk over there, my man. I'm hesitant to commit to Tua, and that might be craziness because I get bashed constantly on my channel on Twitter for being whatever the term of the day is.
Doug, you ain't got to do this, Doug. I know they pressuring you to do this. You ain't got to do this.
You see these tattoos, they were pressured. There's no peer pressure.
TD, did TD have a talk with you today, Doug?
He has my family in the car with him. He told me, be real, and you need to get on the same page as me, or your children are getting a haircut.
Hey, I'm telling Omar.
But for real though, it worries me. The way he plays at the end of the year worries me. To me, I'm like 80% to call him a franchise quarterback. It's that 20% that it's the end of the year. It's the end of the year. It's the fourth quarter. Hey, we need to win this, or hey, this is a playoff game. And he just has brain farts that I can't get past, and it makes me hesitate. And I am not paying him I'm not paying him top 5 money in the NFL. Like I'm fine with riding on that 5th year option. We can afford that. Like if you're willing to pay him more money, ride with the 5th year, and then you make him the highest paid the following year if he wins you a playoff game. I'm not for it right now. He has not shown me that he has gone over that hump. And that's to me, and people are going to disagree. Obviously, people have a bigger, longer list of things that Tua needs to do better. But for me, his last hump to be like, all right, we can ride with Tua is he needs to get over the fourth quarter of the season, fourth quarter of the game playoff hump that he gets over, because in the beginning 3 quarters of the season, he's good. And then all of a sudden he plays a good team. In the end of the year, he struggles. He needs to get over that hump. And when he gets over that hump, pay him.
TD, give Doug his family back. Give Doug his dang family back.
You have to feed him first.
Give him his family back, bro. Give him his family back.
Hey, I got to see the whole thing happen over the summer first. Hey, listen, but I got to say this, though. This is why I defend Doug when people try that crazy stuff with Doug. See, Doug is a Tua fan, and you correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, Doug. Doug is a Tua fan. Doug believes in Tua. Doug is holding out hope that he's going to prove everybody wrong.
Doug is a Dolphins fan.
I've never said anything was wrong with that. I disagree, but that don't mean nothing's wrong with that. But why can't people do exactly what he just did and still be objective where it's warranted? The moments where it's warranted, but people are still out here acting like he don't have those issues that Doug just outlined. Now, Doug just want to see a playoff win, though. I still need a little more than that. But
I'm with you there.
Right. Here's the deal. This is where people get lost in translation. It's not winning the big games. It's also being a reason why we did.
Yes.
Like, look at the Cowboys game. You did enough because you didn't lose the game. One mistake and you could have lost the game. But that still doesn't tell me anything. Have those moments like the Cowboys game, but you make a few more signature plays. I ain't talking about the last drive where we ran primarily 40 yards, okay? But it's not about finishing the season with the wins, but being a major part of the wins.
Yeah.
Like,
and TD, I agree with you. Look, TD, and I agree with you. Tua's got to play better in moments, right? He's got to perform. He's got to elevate his game. He's got to be willing to put his body on the line for the team. And that's what is missing, right? I just didn't see enough of Tua willing to pull the ball down, run, extend plays, do things like that in order to make the play. He just wasn't the playmaker we needed him to be. And I agree. It has to happen.
But this is what pisses me off, okay? It was about keeping him healthy this year, proving it.
Of course. Yep.
But you're really not proving you can stay healthy if you're not subjecting yourself to the rigors anyway.
And with TD, we had this conversation, right?
That's my issue. He hasn't proven he can stay healthy unless he plays mentally free from worrying about injuries and holding up. Because if you're making business decisions, now you're creating another limitation for the team. Yeah. Instead, like, you look at the runs Mahomes had in the Super Bowl. Do you know how many of those? Some of them you just but 80% of the quarterbacks are going to slide. And he went and said, "I got to get that yard, so let me get it." Like, we're not going to get that anymore. I don't think.
I don't know about that.
If we do, can he hold up though?
I agree so much with that, because a lot of people bring up we obviously compare him a lot to Brock Purdy. To me, they're kind of the same style of quarterback, except for Brock Purdy is more mobile. And you look at Tua his first 2 years, right? When Tua, I don't know if it was he was killing. Prove Brian Flores wrong or whatever. I don't give a crap. I'm just going to go play some football. He was doing that. The Atlanta Falcons game, it was like 3rd and 3. We were down a touchdown. He needed to get that first down because he threw 2 interceptions. He ran right through that corner. He hurt the corner when the corner tried to lay into him. The Jets game, putting his shoulder down, running through the Jets.
That was Flores. That was Flores, dog. That was Flores.
He's probably too I'm going to prove this guy wrong. He don't want me here. I'm going to show that I can play. And he's done it. But now all of a sudden, like TD hit the nail on the head. It's more about, and we've seen it. We saw it in the playoff game where the play where he overthrew Tyreek, who's on a crosser because he stepped up out of a pocket on a 2-man rush. He saw Austin Jackson throw the defender down and he got scared. He probably was like, I have no time, and then took off running. You have time, man. Don't worry about taking the hit.
Ooh, it's a lot
Stay
of
in the
plays
pocket,
like
make
that,
the
bro.
throw.
But and that's
It's a
and
lot.
that's and it is, and you're right. It's plays like that where he's making business decisions. And I told you guys, I think this year was about Tua staying healthy, right? I mean, you playing on a contract year, you got to get your money. Once you get your money, you can go back to playing free and do it and playing willy nilly. But you got to get to that first contract. And I think Tua was making business decisions, and it hindered the Miami Dolphins. It did hinder us down the stretch.
Mhm.
It limited us. So Tua's got to get back to playing a little bit looser. I feel like he's got to get more mobile, more agile, and he's got to pull that ball down and be ready to make plays with his legs.
Yeah.
It's just got to happen. I think every quarterback at this point needs it in their game. And if you aren't being a threat out there, right, it's like the game of basketball. If you're just on the court and you're not willing to take shots, you aren't a threat. You aren't helping you aren't helping your team, right? Tua's got to be willing to take the shots, and that means pulling the ball down, being mobile, getting off platform, and making throws, extending plays.
We've seen him roll to his left and make some great throws down the field. It's not like a roll to the left, throw a 5-yard pass. He's very good at rolling to his left and throwing it 25 yards down the field. Like, we've seen him do these things, but he needs to get out of his own way. And it seems like, and TD touched upon this offseason, was like, we need Tua around, because he gives us the better chance out of the 3 quarterbacks we have, which fix that. Like, don't bring in a Mike White. I hated that. I wanted Gardner Minshew or Baker, but they bring in Mike White. Like, it made no sense. So what did they do? Instead of making him stronger, they just made him bigger. Like, they made him like be able to sustain the hits instead of being able to be mobile still. And they need to find that middle ground. They need to bulk him up, but also have him be able to run and move the ball.
And that may be a little bit of my McDaniel too. I think McDaniel has maybe boxed to it and like, hey, I don't want you running. I don't want you taking off.
Probably,
right?
Yeah.
And I want you healthy. So I think McDaniel's got to kind of let the leash off also, and just let him play, man. Like, we can't box a kid in and put him in bubble wrap every week. So at some point, you got to get out there and play.
I don't like Mike McDaniel anymore. I was a huge fan of Mike McDaniel. No, I'm serious. I was a huge fan of Mike McDaniel. I believed in Mike McDaniel. I'm doing a film study on my channel, and I'm going backwards, starting with the Chiefs game all the way back. I've already seen the Buffalo game, the second to last, but I started with the Chiefs one on my channel. And when you put those 2 games together, I urge y'all to go just watch the film over and over. He's not as good of a coach as I thought when I look at the film. A lot of the issues actually aren't Tua Tagovailoa. It's Mike McDaniel. And I'm not talking about like just the play call, but the scheme.
The design.
Half of our plays are predetermined plays where there ain't nothing to read. We already know what we're going to do. Here's what I mean by that. You may have 5 guys running out on the route, right? And one of them hitting the flat. Tua will hike the ball, look down the middle of the field, and just throw it over in the flat. There wasn't a progression. There was no progressions, and I'm not talking about Tua. Watch the film and start looking at the wide receivers. Ask yourself, go look at the wide receivers opposite of where the ball goes. They'll run 10 yards, turn around to see if it was caught. They're not even running routes. They already know, like, this play, it's almost like this is the offense. You're in the huddle, even though I don't know what the terminology is, but this is basically what you're getting in the huddle. All right, we're running this play going to Tyreek. All right, we're running this play going to Motion. All right, and no other option, because we'll throw it even if it's covered. We'll throw it regardless of. And I'm looking at, like, there's certain plays. I got a wide receiver looking backwards to see if it was caught, running a lazy route. I got a running back on the same play, jogging, turning around to see if it was caught. I mean, these are predetermined. These are, and then we wonder why when the first read ain't there, it's chaos. And then we wonder, now, not all plays are like that. We do have a few plays where you go through a few options, But his scheme overall, half the plays are predetermined plays where we know we're going to go. Another half of them are splitting off the field. We're only going to operate on the left, no matter what's happening on the right. And then the other plays are the ones when they take all that away, they try to force you in a more pro style, and we just don't look good doing it.
And TD, I agree with you to a certain extent, but I mean, we have to take into consideration that calling offensive plays in the NFL is probably the toughest thing to do in the NFL, right? And I understand that play design is a part of that. I agree with you to some extent, but it's like I want to see more layers to where Tua has stuff in his face and then he has that short, medium, deep type of thing. And we don't see a lot of that. And that's my problem with it. Our tight ends are rarely involved in the pass game and like drag routes and across the middle. And we just rarely put things right in front of Tua's face. It's always down the field or it's always to the sideline, right? And that's my problem with it. It's like, hey, when we were at the last drive of the Dallas game, Cedric Wilson was in the slot. He goes and catches like 5-yard slant, 10-yard pops, stuff like that in the middle of the field. That's where Tua can operate. But when you start running everything downfield and you start forcing them to read one side, and when you force them to read one side, one guy is not open, the other guy is way down the field, and then there's no check down right in front of his face. Check down is on the other side of the field. So I think Mike McDaniel has to do a better job of using the entire field, the short, medium, long type stuff. And like you gotta get the running back involved in the check downs. Like you put the check down in front of his face. Don't put him in the flat. Don't run the swing route. Just put him in the middle of the field. Let him catch the ball in the middle of the field, turn around and go. And that's what I don't see enough of. I don't see enough easy passes for Tua. Everything is difficult down the field in between windows. What happens when those windows close? Right? What happens when the windows close?
But what happens when they take away the middle, like the Chiefs did, though, putting like 4 guys on the side where the action is, like literally all in the middle, and actually linebackers standing in the middle, not even looking at the quarterback. They just waiting for a receiver. Like, come on, I'm looking at you right here.
And when those linebackers are closing, when those linebackers are dropping deep and closing those windows, there should be a running back going to replace those guys. That's what should be happening. Somebody going to replace those guys in the middle of the field, turn around, catch the pass, and keep it moving. Just keep moving the chains. I just don't see enough of that.
It's funny too because you look at other teams and they utilize that again
all the time.
It's the Miami Dolphins defensive kryptonite. You want to if you're on the Dolphins 10-yard line and you want to score on this play, have a tight end or have a running back block and then release. He will be butt naked open against our defense every time. We should utilize that.
Yeah.
Have our running backs, our tight ends, jump, chip, and then maybe go a curl route or an in route on the in the middle of the field. CB hits it on the head. We like to push it downfield. We like that mid, the in routes, the posts, the slants, all that stuff, 5 to 10 yards.
Yeah.
They leave them all. It was literally
voids, man.
In 2022, that's what killed us against the Chargers and against the 49ers. They were daring us to throw those passes, and we just kept pushing the ball down the field, and that's why we crumbled. So I think Mike McDaniel needs to stop trying to outsmart people and take that genius role and start to just play sound, because the 49ers do it very well. And Kurt Warner showed it against the Chiefs in the playoffs, where we were stacking receivers, essentially making it harder for Tua to throw passes because he has to throw it over defenders. Make it easier, spread it out. Every time it was 3rd and 1, and we would just go into an I formation bunch. Get in the shotgun, throw a wide receiver set, have the running back to your right, and first off, give Tua more than the minimum amount of time to assess what's going on, but have them look. Oh, they're playing off. All right, I'm going to hand the ball off. Oh, I'll have a slant. I'll have this. Just make it easy instead of being we're going to compact it and then we're going to throw a bubble screen to the left on the it just some of his play calling drove me nuts.
Yeah.
what I've learned now is that the motion is starting to hurt us more than it helps us. And what I mean by that, the
100%.
better teams, go look at Baltimore and the Chiefs and Buffalo, they're no longer reacting to the motion. They're like, you can run.
Play.
We ain't finna chase you out there.
Yeah.
You know? And then here's why it's hurting us. As soon as that guy go in motion, the blitz guy coming up, you can't stop the play now because you move on height. You move on the motion. As soon as it clears,
it forces you. It forces you to.
Yeah. Also, so you can't hold on. They blitzing. You can't.
Stop. And it also takes time. You get that play in 15 seconds. You go to the line of scrimmage. You have to equate for the motion. So Tua can't get to the line of scrimmage, call out the mic, assess it. Oh, let's change it up. Because he can't. All of a sudden, it's 8 seconds. I can't change it because the motion's going to take 5. It's just, it's a nightmare.
This offense is really missing a tight end who can play, who's versatile, who can make plays in the pass game, who can make quick plays.
If you didn't see my video from today, Greg Olson, I think when we were playing the Cowboys, interviewed Mike McDaniel, and he said that this is the time they're going to focus on the tight end. It's year 3 in this offense where they're going to address the tight end. We'll see if that actually happens because he also said he's going to run the ball more.
Right.
But apparently Greg Olson said that this is the year they're going to address the tight end, which
they're just missing a guy in the middle of the field who can operate. And you see the teams that are in the Super Bowl, the Kittles, the Kelseys, the Andrews. These guys are just playmakers in the middle of the field. They don't mind going up against linebackers. They don't mind going in traffic. We need a guy like that who can make the plays. And then we also need a running back who's going to be a threat. Right. And I've always said this, like, it's Mostert and A-Chain are cute. They are very nice, shiny toys. Right. But they are not going to punish a defense on 3rd and 1, on 4th and 1, and get the short yardage. Right. They're not going to do that.
To bring in Derrick Henry. Cut Mostert.
Bro, we need a bruiser. We need a bruiser.
I'd have that 3-headed. I'd have A-Chain, Mostert, and Henry. That's what I would do.
It's true. I think it'll be too much money. Here's why. I keep saying this, and I haven't heard anything yet, but I couldn't imagine Mostert playing on his last year, making $3 million when it's his last chance to get a bag coming off of a career year. His agent has to be saying, you got to throw him at least another $2 million, $2 or $3 million. Put him in sticks.
Like you said, 18 touchdowns, you could get some value out of him if you trade him.
Yeah, so that's why I'm in the thought process. We're not keeping Mostert because Greer can't afford to put him up to no $6 or $7 million.
Yeah, you're right.
So cut him and bring in Derrick Henry. At least he brings a skill set that you need. 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. It's a shame that we can't pick him up.
It's a shame.
So we got to change that.
It's a shame. It honestly, it sets and that's how I know this team wasn't ready, right? Because you get into 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, and you're throwing swing passes, bro. Like, bro, McDaniel, is that what you're doing on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1? That's how I know you're not ready for playoff football. That's how I know you're not ready to go on the road and win games.
But I'll say this.
You just soft. You soft up front, bro.
Well, is Alec Ingle really a bruiser, though? Because we never put him in that punch situation.
I don't know. He gets a little banged up.
Traditional fullback supposed to be.
He's a little finesse.
I know he's a great blocker, even though on film I'm seeing a lot of blocking assignment mistakes by him. By the way, on film, I never paid attention
a lot too.
But now I'm seeing some issues in blocking with him on the field. But who else are we going to get that 1 yard with though? That's the problem.
I like Chris Brooks, and he didn't get an opportunity. I mean, he got hurt this year, right?
He's also buried on that.
He's buried on the depth chart, but I think if a guy like Mostert is traded or moved, or we cut another guy, I think he could get an opportunity. Now, I still don't think he's the answer. I'd rather see a veteran guy like Derrick Henry back there, but it's just a tough call because your running back room right now is really just kind of one-dimensional. They're cute, right? They're fast toys. They don't run up inside. They don't scare any linebacker in the NFL.
The whole offensive weapon core.
Yeah, and that's part of it. That's part of just not physical enough.
It's funny too because last year we were like, oh, we're going to get Cooks, Dalvin Cook. And then all of a sudden there was the rumor that they asked about Saquon, they asked about Josh Jacobs, yada, yada.
Yeah.
All of those guys are free agents. Saquon, free agent. Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, like all of these guys are now free agents. So the Dolphins, can have that opportunity where they can move on from Wilson and Mostert, take that cap space and put it towards one of these guys that will help be a 1-2 punch with Devon Achane.
And honestly, go ahead, TD. Go ahead.
Here's an issue that nobody's really talking about. I don't think people are understanding the situation with our salary cap right now. You know how we say we could restructure guys and get to about positive 20? They don't realize that we have almost 20 unrestricted free agents.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you bring in 20 people on $1 million each, there's all your money right there.
Yeah, we got a lot.
And the only place to really save money is maybe guys like extending Tua and saving about $20 million and then trying to get a free agent or two. But the reality of it is, people don't understand how strong we are, and we got a decision to make. If we go in and we extend Tua and we renegotiate these contracts, understand that the restructuring of the contract, it doesn't only give these players a check immediately and more guaranteed money, but it extends that window of an out. So say you got an out on a player after this year. That restructure, now the out is after next year. So you're stuck even further. You're kicking the can down the road. So the negative 51 million this year, next year it might be negative 65. The year after that, if we do all of this stuff we're talking about, it'll be like the Saints, negative 80.
There's some guys that I'm okay with, like Jalen Ramsey. I'm okay with giving him another year.
Yeah, but that would make sense because you see him in the vision 3 years from
in the future, right?
But X doesn't make sense.
No, he's
Jerome Baker, I don't think really makes sense.
No,
man, Baker should have been gone. Let's be real, bro.
Well, Chris Greer's failures.
Here you go with the Greer talk. Here we go. Let's get it. Ding, 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 ding.
Pissed I was.
Ding, ding, ding.
How pissed I was when I found out that the Chiefs' Tyreek trade pick was McDuffie.
Yeah, but with
come on, man.
Out from.
That's a gamble. Like you always, it's a gamble.
No,
it's always a gamble.
They gave up all of the picks we gave them, Doug, to move up to 21. All the other little picks that we gave them. They turned Tyreek into McDuffie and saved $27 million.
But luckily for them, McDuffie panned out and he became.
Luckily for them, he had a good game in the Super Bowl, man.
And why Greer can't be good and just get McDuffie? Why couldn't he just see it? With Greer misses on everything, man. Y'all
Tyreek was a great trade. Come on. Tyreek was a great trade. What are you talking about?
Tyreek trade was the worst trade that we'll never realize.
I disagree with that.
It's good for the Dolphins offense, and it makes us look all good, but it stagnates the team. And at the end of the day, it's going to all be for nothing. Watch.
Hey, this man TD is on one, boy. Hey, Omar coming for your neck. Don't worry about it. Hey, don't worry about it. Hey, don't even worry about it.
In the Super Bowl with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, he will, bro. That's what I'm hoping.
We gonna see.
Dang, you don't got no faith, TD? You don't think we want to?
Listen, you talk about faith. Don't make me go up and down this roster and tell you about faith. Because that's all you can have to feel good about this roster is faith.
To get Tyreek a Super Bowl, we need to win one in the next 2 years. I don't see that happening.
Thank you. Say that again, Doug. I can't believe Doug. I'm releasing your family, dude.
Hey.
Y'all go home.
Let him out. Let him out.
You got to feed him first.
Let him out.
Hello? Yeah, pick up CB83 family.
Hey, bro. I mean, Doug, I don't like this, Doug. I don't like this.
Listen, I say that because Tyreek himself even said he wants to retire at a certain point. And Tyreek, the way he plays, and you even saw he was like 50% halfway through the season because that man will just keep playing even though he's hurt. He's not going to last 2-3 more years.
Doug.
And then the Dolphins this is what the Dolphins have to figure out.
Waddle
and it's
and
not about
Tyreek
Hill.
the same money.
It's not about Tyreek Hill. It's not about the quality of player or anything like that. It's Jalen Waddle. He's a free agent after next year. We're going to pick up his 5th-year option. Then we have to sign him. You're not signing him to number 1 money and still having Tyreek. What we're going to do is we're going to re-sign Jalen Waddle, but we're going to make his money become number 1 money when Tyreek Hill's gone. So we are preparing for Tyreek Hill to be gone.
Which can be the case. But you're not telling me, Doug, you're not telling me that this team, if they don't have a good offseason this offseason, have a good draft and have a good free agency and sign the players they need to sign in order to make this team solid. You're not telling me if this team is able to stay healthy throughout the season that they can't make a run at one. Because we were very, very close this year, barring health.
We weren't.
Barring health.
You think we were close?
Yes, I think. Look. I think this team, if healthy, gives anybody a run for their money.
I think
Connor Williams. Look, we lost Connor Williams.
Scored more than 7 points against the Chiefs.
We lost our best offensive lineman.
I think we beat the Chiefs.
We lost our best offensive lineman. We lost our 2 edge rushers.
We beat the Bills.
We were healthy when we played them early in the season in perfect weather.
We weren't healthy. When we played them. What are we talking about?
Early in the season?
We weren't completely healthy.
In Europe?
We weren't completely healthy. No.
I gotta look.
And we also we had players missing. I can go back and tell you, but
I'm
I
talking
don't.
about the offensive side of the ball. We had our offense intact when we went overseas. Now defense, Ramsey
was early. Ramsey was not playing. He didn't play that game.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the defense though.
Robert Hunt was out. Brandon Jones was out. River Craycraft was out, and then Armstead was questionable.
I'm talking about defense.
We talking about offense.
Defense. Yeah, but Robert Hunt didn't play.
My bad, offense.
Yeah,
Robert Hunt didn't play.
Stop.
Man, we had players that didn't play.
They wasn't making no difference.
Oh yeah, Achane was out too. He's on IR.
Exactly. So we had
making no difference.
Okay, TD. What are we talking about? Achane was out too, bro. Come on, like y'all just talking reckless.
What was Moster's stats?
Man, Mostert had a good game when we ran the ball.
Let's not act like we couldn't have beaten the Chiefs,
bro. Stop.
Tyreek
had a bad play. Fumbled the ball, gave him a touchdown, dog. Don't tell me we couldn't have beat them guys.
I think they play tighter, smarter.
The
football
only team that really smacked us was the Eagles.
Eagles didn't really even smack us.
Buffalo the first time.
Buffalo
the first time, right? And freaking Baltimore. That's who.
We wait until
Baltimore beat the dogs. Mess out of us.
The only thing that matters is if you can't even get past Buffalo, it don't even matter. You think the Buffalo gonna start the way next year like they did this year?
I don't know. Buffalo might not be the same team they are next year. Come on, stop playing.
They're in the same cap as Miami Dolphins.
I doubt it.
Yeah, but they got their core intact though.
Who is the core? James Cook and Josh Allen?
That's their offense, one man.
And Diggs? Is Diggs going to be there? Is Diggs going to be there next year?
Probably not, and I hope not, but it doesn't matter. You can't beat Josh Allen.
Yeah, they calling me clueless, boy. I know, these boys here, boy. These boys here.
Now, last time we went live, Doug, we obliterated CB.
Yeah, I get obliterated right now. Hey, cancel Christmas. Cancel Christmas. It's a smoke show. Let's go. Let's go.
Jets gonna be better. I gotta see what the Chargers gonna be. The Bengals gonna be back.
No
bro, you talking about the Jets?
Jets are gonna Jets it up, regardless of how they're gonna Jets it up.
I hope so. Lord knows,
their whole front office is just crumbling.
The Jets
crumbling.
What? We're not realizing it.
You've been hanging around them AFC East dudes too much.
I'm more worried about the Patriots than I am the Jets.
Oh wow, we're still gonna have Coach killing Tua.
Oh man. So you putting it all on Tua, huh? Damn. That's how you feel about. That's how you feel about.
Tua done got 53 coaches fired in the last 4 years.
Hey, boy, hey.
I
Hey,
actually
Doug,
had
you
to
Doug,
look it up.
and Doug,
I thought it was
you're
a joke.
aligning yourself with this dude
They
right now.
put that on Twitter.
Doug,
I thought they
I'm
were
giving my
exaggerating. I had
Doug,
to look
If
it
we're
up.
having TD matches with
Doug,
me,
you are aligning yourself with this dude right now.
How dare
Omar
you.
is gonna obliterate both of y'all.
Listen, man.
What did he
Omar
call
been calling and texting for mercy, but it's all good.
I'm looking forward to this. Oh man, it's gonna be fun right here, TD.
I'm really concerned about next year missing the playoffs. I really am.
Missing the
If
deep
that
down,
happens, we're restarting. We have
no,
to
Doug, but
restart.
this is the point, Doug.
You gotta
See,
restart.
it's so Dolphin to sign Tua on a 5-year deal,
Don't
big
do it.
money, and we miss the playoffs
do
next
it.
year.
Hey,
Don't-
Mike McDaniel. Hey, Mike McDaniel don't miss the playoffs. He ain't missed the playoffs since he been here. It ain't happening. That's one thing your boy just don't do. He gonna get in the dance. He gon' hey, he gon' get in the dance. He gon' get in the dance.
9-8 and made the playoffs.
Come on, man. Stop playing
That's
with
out
man.
of pure technicality.
Stop playing with McDaniel, man.
When he
He
win
gonna
a
get you
playoff
there.
game, then talk to me.
All right, it's coming. Just be patient. Just wait on it. Trust the process. That's what they say,
Yeah,
right?
We've been waiting 4 years. Y'all been saying that same line for 4 years.
Hey,
Trust the process. Just
McDaniel gonna get McDaniel gonna get him a running back, and that's gonna look at him and say, "Hey, if you don't give me that damn football, I'm gonna come cross your head." That's what's gonna happen.
Watch what happens. We gonna bring in Derrick Henry. We gonna get excited, and then we ain't gonna be able to stop the run when we lose Christian Wilkins.
You're gonna.
Oh man,
we're all gonna get excited.
We ain't gonna. Hey, but Doug, we ain't gonna be able to stop the run when we lose Christian Wilkins.
Man, what Christian Wilkins ain't really plugging nothing like that. Stop playing,
wow.
TD.
You
Wow.
He finesse. He finesse. He finesse.
He is the run
Siler that dog in there. Christian Wilkins in there. Hey, Christian Wilkins in there swim move and do a pass rush.
You're a Wilkins hater, bro. How disrespectful. You hear this man, Doug?
Hey,
we saw with our own eyes when Christian Wilkins got hurt and our run defense just collapsed.
Man, Christian Wilkins can be dudes like that can be found in the draft. I understand he's a good player. He's good in our system, but let's not gas up Christian Wilkins. He's a good player. He played a good year.
I'm not entertaining you, bro. Let me tell you what else.
I'm cooking y'all right now. You ain't got to entertain me.
Let me tell you what else going to be a disappointment next year, no matter what. If they keep X, he going to have his worst year of all time. He going to get toasted all year. If they move on from X and Cam Smith the starter, y'all going to be begging for Noah Igman knocking me back.
Nah, stop. Cam Smith. Hey, Cam Smith gonna ball, man. Hey, don't act like you wasn't at camp rooting on for Cam Smith. Hey, I saw you there. I saw you in the stands. Hey, TD was in the stands. Hey, TD was in the stands talking about go Cam, go Cam, go Cam.
Hey, I like what I saw in Kemp. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, yeah, don't lie. I saw you down there. He did that man dirty. He did him dirty,
TD. Find out next year, because if y'all don't believe it, the Miami Dolphins, to justify letting players go and not being able to afford them all, they're going to put Cam Smith out there as a starter, and they're going to have Channing Tindall out there as a starter. Mark my words. They're going to have to, just like they did with Hunt, Eichenberg, and Jackson. That's the message now. You got to make it work. We ain't draft them for nothing. Figure it out.
Cam Smith being the new Noah is a terrible take. Wow, that was an all-time low take right there.
I could be wrong, but I'm just saying I gotta go off the proven guy right now in Fangio, and I gotta take his word over everybody else's right now. Even though people like Fangio kind of blackballed him, well, you know what? I gotta take Fangio's word until he prove otherwise.
Ooh.
See the difference between Noah was a reach. Cam was not a reach. Cam high ratings. he had some issues, so that's why he fell to the second. Which
Hey,
surprised me that they
TD,
took one.
I gotta ask you guys a question. I've been hearing this take, and I have just been like blown away. The not the cut to a take, the trade Tyreek Hill take. Do you think this is worth having a conversation about? I think it's a terrible take, but there are people out there pushing that we should trade Tyreek Hill at this point.
I will be devil's advocate. First off, it would change the offense. Tyreek is a generational talent. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now.
Best
you have him on the field. He's just dangerous. Obviously, that's why we target him all the time. You get 2 firsts for Tyreek Hill. You say no? Like that's where I'm at, right? It's the
Larry Tunsil type situation.
It's the Tunsil situation. If you get an offer, you can't say no.
Here we go. Here we go.
But I'm not trading him.
CB, he said 2 firsts. I'm seeing a quarterback. Woo!
See, that's dead wrong, TD. That's
no, but I agree with Doug. Look at the assets you can get, right? And you can actually save the team. Addition through subtraction. And would the team be better off? Like, think about it. Now you got $30 million and 2 first-round picks. Think about what you could do with those 2 first-round picks. You can go get a corner for the future.
Yep.
You can go get well, I don't want to spend that on a guard.
Are you getting 2 firsts for Tyreek?
No. But that's what I'm saying.
You can get one in a whole bunch of picks.
Yeah, if you can get that, if that's offered to you from someone like the Bears or someone who has this young quarterback that needs it, you're gonna say no.
Got too many holes, and we need the money. I'm telling you, addition through subtraction. Like
I think Tyreek Hill is just too valuable to the offense. I think he's too valuable to the 100%. Team as a leader.
But we've also saw
I wouldn't move him.
We saw, aka the Jets game, and a lot of people want to poo-poo that game, even though the Jets have a very good defense. We saw how we can cook without Tyreek.
Yeah, we can cook.
Here's the thing, Doug. See, here's how I look at it. If you were able to move Tyreek, right, to replace him, you just need a number 2.
Because you have Waddle.
You see, we haven't done that yet. We haven't had Waddle in a true number 2. Parker, you know what I mean by that. We're talking about going to get an actual number 2, right? Him and Waddle. And then you take your savings and the draft capital, and now you can go ahead and get your corner. You can get your middle linebacker. We don't have a safety on the roster next year. We don't even have a safety. Did you know Brandon Jones and Deshaun Elliott are unrestricted?
Right. And I expect us to try to re-sign Deshaun Elliott.
They'll be cheap if they do.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to re-sign.
But here's another thing you could think about, which again, this isn't going to happen. I'd be shocked if they trade Tyreek Hill. But you get a first, you can get Bowers, and that is a huge replacement.
See, this is what I'm saying, CB. It's not out of the realm, bro. You got to understand, we're too dependent on him as it is. To think like that. Do you see what Mahomes just did without anybody?
That's Mahomes, though, and that's Andy Reid.
Well, hold on now.
That's Mahomes and Andy Reid. That is a different.
Tua McDaniel.
That's a different animal. Them dudes have done it.
Say Tua ain't close?
They ain't there. They ain't there. Stop playing, T.
How far are they, Stevie?
Hey, I don't know. Them dudes winning rings over there.
We need an acknowledgement right now.
Andy Reid and that dude Patrick Mahomes are on a different level right now. Different stratosphere.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because your true sentiments, without saying it, are we can't survive without Tyreek. Tua can.
I think the offense, the way it's built. I think the offense, the way it's built,
without it. So you mean to tell me
but
to
TD, check this out. I don't think McDaniel is maximizing Tyreek. I don't think he's using.
He can't. Look at the quarterback.
But no, I'm not talking about just throwing him the ball. I think you could give him jet sweeps. You could give him all type of stuff and be creative.
The ball even more.
Even
more.
Yeah, I want to give it to him in different ways.
You can't get 12 targets a game. What you trying to get him to 20?
He need to get a couple handoffs, jet sweeps, some other stuff
Oh
too.
my God. You really gonna handicap the offense because defense is already just playing to guard him.
Nah, we're gonna get our tight end involved. We're gonna go get hopefully we go get a Brock Bowers or
Gosh, man.
somebody who can play.
See, you telling me about Chris Greer failures again. How many tight ends he done brought in that keep failing?
Man, he keep bringing in
these. What's the new one that we just had?
What round is he drafting these tight ends? 8th, 7th, 8th round.
What round?
Elijah Higgins.
Yeah, Elijah Higgins. You keep on. Come on, bro. Greer keep bombing, man. He keep failing.
You killing Greer. Ding, 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 ding. Let's go.
A lot. But, bro, if he would have just hit on like maybe 2 to 3 more out of the 20 bombs, we'd be all right.
I mean, he hit on Austin Jackson, hit on Tua, hit on Javon Holland, hit on Jalen Phillips.
Javon Holland overrated and a fraud.
Wow.
Javon Holland, hold on, let me educate you.
Overrated
I was one of the biggest Javon Holland fans until this season.
He had a down year.
Hold on. Javon Holland is just like Tua Tagovailoa. Go look it up. He balled out against the trash teams, and he is absolute trash against the great teams. Go look at it. I watched the film, and I'm seeing like, oh, that was on Holland, not Jones. Oh, that was on Holland. I said, let me go to PFF. Something wrong here, because he getting blasted out here in these good games. And when you go to this man PFF, he ain't had a PFF over 60 in the 6 good teams we played. He ain't had a PFF over 60. The rest of his PFFs are 90s against the scrubs. Every good team we play, he is trash.
All right, so TD, I think first of all, let's take into consideration context is he had knee injuries. Right.
Gosh.
So,
bro, every single game
players have down moments, and he had a down year. He had a down year for sure. I'm not even.
PFF was 91. He was one of the best safeties against the bum teams. Doug, I hope you're looking it up.
He had a down.
I know you're looking it up, Doug.
I am. I'm looking it up.
Jeez,
that's right,
bro.
Doug.
You ain't giving people
the facts. Because it's too good to be true, Doug. When I saw the film, I was like, dang, he getting toasted. And then after another game against a good team, I'm like, man, hold on. What's going on with Holland? And I said, let me go check PFF.
Holland is a good football player.
Games, he was a bum. And I saw it on film before I even went to PFF.
I don't think he was being used correctly.
Film, but I wonder what was going on.
I don't think he was being used correctly.
Oh, okay. And I was Fangio, but he was the best baller against all the weak teams. I am telling you, it's on film. Screw PFF.
Your boy had he had them knee injuries, man.
Bro, this was before that, man. I am telling you, CB, he's made some critical errors trying to gamble.
See, I wouldn't call him a bum because I'm even going back to 2021 and 2022.
He ain't a bum, Doug. He ain't a bum. I just said this year he disappointed me. I was one of his biggest fans, but this year he got exposed. But it doesn't show up in the overall. But do you see every single game against a team over 500, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see not a single one where he played well?
Nope.
And he only played like 5 of them.
He did. Tackling, he was really good.
Yeah, because he gave up all the catches.
Can't believe you trashing Holland, man.
Hey,
Omar gonna tell. What is the Omar show?
And I'm not talking about PFF. You can go look on film and see what I'm talking about. You'll be shocked. Go watch the film against the good teams and look at Holland taking chances. He doing that Rashad Jones stuff, taking chances.
He didn't do bad. He didn't do bad against Kansas City.
What was the PFF?
He gave up. He was targeted twice, 1 catch. He had a NFL rating when the quarterback targeted him of 56.3. He didn't do bad against Kansas City.
That's trash.
TD trolling.
A 56.3 passer rating.
What was his PFF, dude?
PFF is subjective.
PFF is gospel.
Because it's more than just it's more than just the targets and stuff. His assignment and was he where he needed to be to let plays blow up.
Them PFF dudes don't even be watching film like that. They be out there.
All right,
guessing.
man, you call it whatever you want. We can pick PFF when we want and don't pick it whenever we want. I'm telling you,
I never go off of the
Devon
PFF
Holland
grade.
has blown some stuff on film.
Now TD, now PFF is gospel now because Holland is trash.
Because here, real quick, and this is why I don't go off PFF, because PFF is very misleading. TD, what was your thoughts on Tua versus the Philadelphia Eagles? Was it a bad game? Was he the reason they lost?
I've been on record saying that the Eagles game wasn't a bad game, but you wanted him to will the team. He didn't play terrible against the Eagles, but he didn't play great.
They gave him an 85.7 PFF grade against the Eagles.
What'd you say?
85.7 PFF grade against the Eagles.
Yeah, and he turned the ball over, right?
Yeah, he had 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
1 touchdown, 1 interception. What happened was when you look at PFF, the way that they graded him out, look at the big time throws, look at the completion percentage and all of that.
Mm-hmm. So he had a good game against the Eagles.
Not a good game.
To
he
them,
didn't blow the game. If you have a good game, Doug, you riding in the 90s. Those are good games.
But this is why when I use PFF, I'm subscribed because I love the stats they gave us, the big time throws, the turnover worthy plays, all that stuff. But their grading, it's very subjective. It's I don't go off their grading.
But remember this: PFF is taking into consideration what you can control. Tua may have looked trash in that game, but when you really look at what he could control, he didn't play bad. There were a lot. They're taking into account the factors. So say he messed up on a throw, but the receiver dropped it or whatever it may be. It may look bad as a completion percentage, but it's not on him. So his overall may have not have looked good, but technically with what he could control was just fine in that game overall.
Because they think he had a good game against the Ravens.
Yeah, it's not so much of a good game. It's basically in everything that you can control, you did good. But you still could have looked bad. So that's how PFF operates. What can you control? And that's why people, you know how we give Tua unfair criticism on things he can't control, but things he can control, we don't give him the criticism. PFF takes that into consideration the right way. So that's why in the Eagles game, I did say he didn't play well or put his team on the back, but that's one of the games that I kind of back up from because at the end of the day, when you watch the film, there wasn't a lot he could control. There were actually minimal things he could control. In the very few things he could control, he made the little pass or whatever it may have been. It may have not been as much, but he still executed on the very few things he could control. It doesn't mean he had a good game, but with what he could control, he did. Now, would you like him to uplift the team and take things above what you can control? Of course, but they're not going to grade you off of the Superman stuff unless you do it. Unless you actually perform it, which every time in Super Bowl is outside of the norm and it's shocking, right? That's why it shows up off the charts. So that's why I actually do put so much more merit on PFF, even when it tells you it's not adding up. Because you gotta go. That's how I evaluate games. If a guy blows up on the O-line and Tua ain't got no time and it's a wide open touchdown, I don't care. He couldn't control that. Now, if he could have called his protections properly before that, that's different. But at the same token, PFF isn't going to consider that. That's the subjective piece. They're not going to say you should have called your protection. They're only going to evaluate what happened when the play started.
Gotcha.
So yeah, man. Like I said,
I don't want to hear it, TD. I really don't want to hear it.
We got a coach killer. We're going to see how many casualties he has this year. We hope he don't take McDaniel out. Okay?
That's a crazy take.
Greer will never be fired because he know where the body's buried with Stephen Ross in the lawsuit. So he ain't getting fired. He good to go. So he don't mind screwing us up, signing Tua on a long-term deal. But before we get out of here, one last question. What amount would you accept per year? Not the not the whole contract, just per year average.
For Tua, like I'd be all right with it?
Yes.
Max 40.
CB?
I do 45 to 50.
I'm around 27. So
I said that too, but he ain't.
Hey, you did, Doug. You did say that. That
He
was
ain't,
disrespectful.
I said give him Geno Smith
That was
contract, but he
that
ain't
was
accepting
disrespectful.
that.
I think 45 is fair. I think Daniel Jones got 40. I think 45 is fair.
give him a $30 million contract bill with massive incentives. What's wrong with saying? What's wrong with
It's
saying?
disrespectful though,
No,
because
no,
he's
no.
done more than Daniel
Well, guess
Jones.
what? His ability
Has
to
he
play
done?
in December and January is disrespectful.
Daniel Jones won a playoff game.
Facts.
I mean, winning is a team stat, guys. I know we want to talk about winning playoff games and winning games, right? But it's a team stat. It's defense, offense,
about this,
special
CB?
teams.
How
Come
about
on,
this,
man.
CB?
Y'all killing me with this now. I'm
How
trying to
about
be
this?
nice.
How about this?
I'm being nice.
30?
TD, I'm
How about
being
this?
nice. Don't make me start cooking up here. I'm being nice.
Oh, how about this? $30 million a year, $500,000 every victory, every win, $500,000 every win,
So when is a team stat?
and then $3 million every playoff win. Incentive that thing up, man. Give yourself an out.
It sounds good. That's just not today's NFL. That's
Yeah,
not the
you
way
know,
it
because
works.
you know why he ain't gonna make more. He ain't gonna make more than $35 million. That's why.
Wow.
You know.
The disrespect. Coach Killer Tua Tagovailoa. It's crazy over here, man.
I'm being nice.
You are?
Any
This is
last
nice?
words, though, before we get out of here, man?
Always fun. Love this show.
Yeah, this is fun.
Free agency's coming up. It's going to get crazy. And we're all going to be watching tomorrow, TD. Don't drop the ball, man.
What's tomorrow?
You know what tomorrow is?
I don't know what's tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going to get a phone call soon.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hey, what up? What's up, Alan? He backing out. What?
Wow. You said he's scared? You said Omar's scared?
Tell him I'll sign a contract that I'll take it easy.
Wow.
Okay.
That is wild.
Make it work, man. Make it work, man. Tell him I'm going to take it easy. I ain't going to embarrass him in front of all the people, man. All right. Listen, nobody worried about that, Doug. Hey, but Omar, you know one thing I appreciate about Omar, though? He definitely selling it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He having fun with it, and that's what I appreciate, man. That's how it's supposed to be. It ain't really no, like, issue, but, he keeps saying TD everything talk, so I know he having fun with it. But don't worry.
Not Barry Jackson. Hilarious.
Not Barry. It'll be a good one, man. It'll be a good one. I think it'll we pre-recording it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was scared to go live, you know. He want to be able to edit out.
But why are y'all pre-recording it?
He always does. He did it with me and Reason too.
Oh, he did it with you guys too?
Yeah, that's what they do. So it's all good. You know, they want to be able to edit out the the massacre. You know,
This is getting dicey. This is getting dicey.
You haven't seen what he been putting on Twitter?
I haven't, Gladiator? Bro. I've been ghost. I've been ghost. I heard he's gassing it up a little bit.
He's been putting videos on Twitter with the Gladiator. You know how you get stabbed in the side? The Gladiator got stabbed. Say that's how he feel. Poupar setting him up, and then he talk about today's show is practice for TD everything talk and not Barry, all that, man. He's having fun with it. So we gonna film tomorrow night, and then when they release it, I don't know, it might be Thursday or something. I have no clue. How long did he release it after y'all recorded, Doug?
Like a day. I think it was the next day it came out.
Yeah, so they'll probably.
He might have to chop yours up a little bit more. He gonna call it. He gonna call it Hard Knocks to chop y'all's up, bro. He gonna call it HBO. That thing gonna be funny, boy.
You know they got to be careful, because I'm gonna be mentioning Greer, sorry self, all of them. So we'll have fun, man.
Hey, we got a few super chats, man. You want to roll through those?
Oh, do we? Okay, let me see. Oh, Tua in here, man. I'm surprised he ain't playing golf on the simulator. All right. CB83, please turn your back on Tua. We need to trade him. He go down that hill. Don't worry. It's good to see the GOAT of YouTube with Doug and TD. Woo!
Shake money, that's my guy.
Hell yeah.
Sign Jordan Phillips to replace Wilkins. Man, we going back?
Oh boy.
Hey, Jordan Phillips sighting in Miami.
Nah, he ain't
Man.
coming back.
And just FYI, everyone, we are back here on every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. now. We have adjusted the schedule. If it adjusts again, we'll just let you know. We just want to make sure that we all can make it. We're going to continue to have guests on, but, we just entered the off season. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff ourselves. And whenever we have the opportunities to have guests on, we will, throughout the Dolphin community, by the way, because we all about making sure that we uplifting one another in the community, regardless of the, back and forth. So we don't have to agree to actually be one. All right. So that's what this is about. That's why I commend Omar Kelly and Alan. That's what they're doing when podcasts unite or whatever, bringing different guys together that represent the Dolphin community. It's just a beautiful thing, man. This is how it's supposed to be. Great content, whether you agree or disagree. The theatrics and just having fun, man, because we need some enjoyment and laughter and fun outside of the fact that we gonna miss the playoffs next year. So just buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
He's still here. Doug, you got him on this, bro.
This is when he's the best. You just gotta let him go.
Hey, but you know what? You know what's funny? I be trolling and then it be coming true. Some of this stuff be coming true.
Because you be putting it in the atmosphere, bro. You be putting that out in the atmosphere. You need to manifest some playoff wins, some Super Bowls.
Hey, he tried.
That's what I need you. You're a religious man
Super
too.
Bowl.
I manifest everything, and they make me a liar every time. Every time.
TD jinxing it. He is.
So now I gotta protect myself and say we winning the Super Bowl, but we ain't making the playoffs. I gotta say both things in the same sentence to feel better about myself. That's how they got me, CB. Don't worry, you gonna go through it, CB. You gonna go through it. We got Tannehill 2.0, and he about to get paid.
Oh
just like
God. I gotta go put my daughter to sleep.
Bye, y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Peace.
We are out.
We going to win a Super Bowl. Jeez Louise.
The flag Super Bowl. Bye.
Nah.